Happy New Year, everyone. We did it. We made it to 2023. I'm your host, Texas Matt, and I just want to say let's start this new year on the right side of compliance. So grab a pen and start writing down some goals. Goal number 1, no more hours of service violations. No more forgetting to turn on your ELD. Goal number 2, no more brake violations. Get focused on your vehicle maintenance. Go ahead and set some more goals for yourself. If you're having trouble thinking of some, give CNS a call or fill out the form in the description below. We're happy to help. So let's get started. A quick update on AB5, which we've talked about many times. Most recently, OIDA requested a preliminary injunction against AB5. Just so we aren't getting confused with the legal mumbo jumbo, basically this means that it's the state's move now and they must file a response by March. During this wait, OIDA and the CTA have been talking about what to do going forward. They have discussed a couple of options, one being to continue business as usual and see what the law does to them. A less renegade approach that was discussed included having carriers become brokers who would then use owner-operators with their own operating authority. And of course, they can comply with the AB5 by making drivers employees. No matter what route they take, smaller companies will likely struggle to keep up. So, for now, if you're operating in California, please don't hesitate to call us at CNS for any help, or you can check out the other AB5 articles or AB5 videos linked above. Let's not kid ourselves. We've all used the COVID pandemic hours of service waivers once or twice, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with a little waiver here and there. And the FMCSA has even acknowledged that there haven't been any negative effects on safety because of the waivers. But in hindsight, they do believe that these waivers were a little bit lenient. On the off chance of another pandemic or crippling national disaster, the FMCSA wants to limit emergency regulatory relief in 5 areas. The FMCSA proposes, number 1, narrowing the automatic applicability of an emergency declaration to the hours of service limits. Number 2, clarifying that emergency regulatory relief generally does not apply to economic conditions that are caused by market forces. Number 3, removing the definition of emergency relief and amending the definition of direct assistance to incorporate essential components of the former emergency relief definition. Number 4, limiting the duration and scope of existing automatic relief when issued by a governor or FMCSA representative. And number 5, simplifying the language allowing FMCSA to extend and modify the regulatory relief outlined in 390.23. For more info on each point, feel free to check out the article below or fill out the form if you have any questions. So you own a business and don't have workers' compensation insurance for your employees. Wow, not only is that super dangerous for your business, but it's also illegal. If you have at least one employee and don't offer workers' comp, you could be liable for the bills plus fees if something happened to that employee. The good news is that Texas Matt is here to teach you the way of the fist. Workers' comp. So, what do you look for? First, you'll need to choose the classification code that's meant for you. This is normally a 3 to 4 digit number that a state rating bureau gives you. It accurately classifies your employees based on the risk at the job. Second, you'll need to monitor your payroll. When you buy coverage, depending on how many people are employed, you'll notice the premiums will fluctuate. Don't worry, just keep an eye on it, and at the end of the year, your insurance carrier will issue a credit or bill as needed. Lastly, review your policy annually. Check for errors and make updates based on your business size, payroll, and market location. If you need some help with this part, give CNS Insurance a call and we'll be happy to help. Well, it's that time of the month again, if you know what I mean. No, not that. I'm talking about your annual DOT inspection. That's right. Not only do you have to get inspections on your personal car and shell out $400 for a taillight, but you also have to do this for trucks and trailers. Trust us, we know your pain. Not only are tractor trailers more expensive to fix, but the inspection guidelines are also more strict as well. The good news is that you have been keeping up with your pre- and post-trip inspections and vehicle maintenance, so this will be a cinch, right? Exactly. Also, if your truck has already passed a level 1 inspection, a level 5 DOT inspection by a federal officer, or a qualified periodic state inspection, that can count as your annual DOT inspection. Carriers can also perform the inspection themselves with a qualified mechanic and a copy of the periodic inspection report. Check out the full article below. There's a lot of information on who is qualified to perform inspections, required vehicles, and what they look for, and the inspection form and sticker requirements. If you need more information on vehicle maintenance or pre- and post-trip inspections, just fill out the form below and a CNS representative can help you out. Okay, not to get too hipster on you, but let's talk about saving the planet for a minute.
I am Captain Planet! Captain Planet, he's our hero.
The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection just announced a $12.7 million grant program which will give businesses, local governments, and nonprofits money to replace their diesel trucks with electric vehicles. With the goal being emission reduction, we should mention that while only 1% of vehicles in the United States are semis, they do make up 18 to 20% of vehicle emissions and over 30% in particulate matter emissions. With that said, outside of the environment, there are a lot of other benefits when considering a switch to EVs, including saving money on the lifetime operating cost of the vehicles. There are a lot of details on what you need to do and in what time frame if you even qualify for the grant. So take a look at the full article to learn more. Links are in the description below. To continue the EV conversation for all you muskrats out there, aka Tesla lovers, we have some good news. Tesla has started deliveries with their electric semi-trucks. After a 3-year delay, production began in October 2022, and they have just recently helped PepsiCo at a delivery event using these vehicles. Elon Musk said they plan to produce 50,000 units per year by 2024. This is big news and is just the start. Even though these units will cost 2 to 3 times a diesel truck, the gas savings alone will allow you to recoup that money in just 3 years. For example, a 200-mile trip in a diesel truck would cost about $169. In an electric vehicle, that same trip would only run you $28. Needless to say, it's an investment that will pay off in the end. But before you go on Amazon and start buying EVs, just know that mega carriers like PepsiCo and Walmart will be the first of a select few companies to get their hands on those electric vehicles. Did you know that the theft of common powertrain controller or CPCs is on the rise? That's right, it's not just your cargo that you have to worry about. And the reason for this rise in theft is the microchip shortage. So, the CPC is the interface between different systems on your truck and ultimately helps your vehicle control functions related to the engine and powertrain. To keep it simple, without it, truck no worky. A CPC can be stolen from a parked vehicle in just a few minutes. It would then get sold for between 4,000 and 8,000 buckaroos on the black market, and then things get tricky. With the microchip shortage, it will take time to get a new one, leaving you without a truck for a few months. I guess you could try buying your own CPC back off the black market, and then they might steal it again. It's a vicious cycle. Have you ever seen that movie Requiem for a Dream? It's about this drug addict kid who keeps stealing his mom's TV, selling it so he can buy drugs. Then the mom has to go back and buy it just so she can watch TV. It's sick. Basically the same thing though, right? But the big question here is, does your insurance cover this? Yes, but it all depends on your policy. At CNS Insurance, we always say get a policy that has more coverage as opposed to just getting the minimum. If you skimp on your policy, there's a chance it won't be covered. You can give us a call today to learn more or fill out the form below and we can get a quote started for you. Before we go, I did want to touch on one other thing. Post-offer employment tests and physical abilities tests. A physical abilities test, or PAT, is just part of the overall post-offer employment test and ensures that a new employee can perform essential job functions and can include tests like muscular tension, power and endurance tests, flexibility tests, and the list goes on. These can and should be customized for each position you are hiring for. If you are an employer, your goal should be to measure your employees' full potential before they start. This is relevant for any job, but we're talking about positions that have physical demands. The last thing you want is a worker hurting themselves on the first day because they weren't fit for the job. This can be an easy way to reduce workplace injuries and workers' compensation claims right away. If you have questions or need more information, feel free to contact us using the form in the description below. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the New Year celebrations and are setting some goals for 2023. I know this year will come with some challenges, but if you're proactive and anticipate them, the sting won't be as bad. Remember, you're not alone, and CNS is here to help you with almost any aspect of your trucking business. Feel free to reach out by phone, email, or the forms below, and we'll figure out what the next step is for your compliance. Texas Matt, signing out.